noche pensando en ti y tú perdiendo el tiempo con él.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing this cranberry smoky eye kind of thing because I'm in the Thanksgiving mood. As you guys can already guess, Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays because I love to eat. So that's really why I'm very excited. I know Thanksgiving's right around the corner, so I said why not get started early, since last time I delivered my video way late due to technical difficulties. I think I learned my lesson, so I'm trying to get into the hang of filming and getting content out there for you guys. It is a little difficult because I'm always working, but I'm trying, and I really do hope you guys enjoy the videos that I'm putting out because I'm doing it with love. So if you want to see how I achieved this look, then please keep on watching. So I already went ahead and did my eyebrows and one eye off camera, just trying to speed things up because last time I remember my video before editing was about 51 minutes long, so you can only imagine how long it took me to get it down to 32. So I'm actually going to zoom in while I'm doing my makeup so you guys can see kind of like how my technique goes, how I'm blending, a little bit of a closer look. So for today's look, we're going to be using Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. As we all know, this is everyone's favorite palette, definitely my favorite palette. I have a bunch of the Anastasia palettes, and this one is by far my favorite. As you can see, it's been through a lot. So to prime my eyes today, I'm going to be using Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. This concealer is definitely my favorite concealer. I use the No Filter Concealer by ColourPop 2, but this one is going to be forever #1 in my heart until I find something that can replace it, which I still haven't yet. So we're going to be using this concealer as a base. I'm just going to apply this all over my lid. And then just using any brush. This is actually a Wet n Wild brush. You can find these for $1 at Walgreens. I'm just going to go ahead and kind of smear the concealer out all over my lid, prepping it for like a base. And I like to bring the concealer all over my lid and down. So once you've covered the entire lid, you want to go ahead and I'm going to use the Morphe Y15 brush, and I'm going to take the color Love Letter, and I'm just going to work this into the crease of my eye. The next color we're going to be using is called Venetian Red, and we're going to take this color and we're going to just put it into the crease of the eye, but using a smaller brush kind of. And for that, I'm going to be using the Morphe M443 brush. So we're just going to start by patting this into the crease like this. Okay, just patting, patting, patting. Once you've got it all patted into your crease, you kind of just want to start doing circular motions to get it to blend with the color that you had set on your eye first. You can also do windshield wiper motions. I like to alternate between the windshield and the circular motions. I feel like it blends the colors better and it gets kind of like a gradient effect. I really like how that looks. So don't really worry too much about it looking like too dark right here on the ends, because at the end we're gonna go and using a blending brush, you're gonna blush out all the harsh edges. So just kind of focus on getting this color packed into the lid the most that you can. The Anastasia eyeshadows are really pigmented, so I don't feel like I have to really dip in too many times. If I'm trying to get the color to show, it's just kind of like already showing as it is. The next color we're going to be using is called Red Ochre. This is more of a deeper matte red. For this shade, we're going to be using the brush that comes with the actual Modern Renaissance palette because this brush is awesome. Like the fluffy side of it is really, it helps you blend colors really well, and then the more smaller side, I feel like is really good for packing on color, or even if you want to just use it to pack on the color into the crease itself, it's really handy. So if you buy a Modern Renaissance palette, you don't even really need to spend money on brushes. I'm the type of person that can just use one brush throughout the whole look, and I know that's going to drive some of you guys absolutely insane because everybody that I watch on YouTube uses a different brush for every single color. But let's be honest, we don't all have money like that to be buying all these crazy brushes. So if you want to work with just one brush, I'm telling you it's possible. So we can make it work. So for, like I said, for that color, we're going to be using the smaller end of the Modern Renaissance brush. And I'm just going to pick up that color and we're going to just pat that into the eye lid. We're just patting this in all over the lid of the eye. And once we've got the color all patted into the lid of the eye, we kind of just want to blend that color with the other two. So using that same little brush, just going with the circular motions, kind of making the two colors meet together. So once you got all three of the colors blended in like this, you can pick up the fluffy side of the Modern Renaissance brush, or the brush that comes with all of Anastasia's palettes, and we're just gonna go ahead and blend the harsh edge out right here, and we're also gonna blend the harsh edges up here. You don't even really have to apply that much pressure. We're just kind of circular motions just to kind of get rid of that harsh edge so it doesn't look like we just threw a color on. To top off the look, we're gonna just hit the inner corner with this color called Vermeer. For that color, I'm gonna be just using this BH Cosmetics brush. These brushes are also very affordable. This is actually a brush set that I got when I was in school, and this is just a little tiny brush, and I'm just gonna dip it into the color Vermeer, and we're gonna just put it in the inner corner of my eye. The color is ridiculous. And for the inner corner, you can make it as bright as you like. I don't really like to go too bright, but I don't really like to keep it too dim. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more. And if you want to make the inner color pop a little bit more, you can even wet the brush. That is always a good trick. So it should look like that. For today's primer, I'm going to be using the BH Cosmetics Studio Pro Foundation Primer. This is a really good primer. It's also very affordable. What I like about this primer is that it doesn't leave your face feeling too sticky. It's kind of just like a really good base, and it works good with any type of foundation. I like to go between stick and liquid foundation, and I feel like it works great with the both. And I also like that it doesn't make me feel oily, because some primers will cause you to feel oily, and this one is just good overall. Today's foundation, we're going to be using stick foundation. This is the Loreal Infallible Long Wear Shaping Stick in the shade 407. So this, I had never before this tried a foundation stick. I had seen a lot of people use it, not really been interested in trying it. I went ahead and bought it one day, and I actually really like it. It's more of like a thicker consistency though, and I feel like liquid foundation is easier to apply. I'm just gonna say that. So I'm just gonna apply this all over my face. And I like to use a lot of foundation because, like I said in my previous video, I have a lot of like scarring and dark circles, so I like to use a lot of foundation. I'm gonna go in and pat the product in using the Beauty Blender. I don't know why we get so ready for Thanksgiving, like we're just gonna sit in the living room and talk to our cousins. Like, I don't understand the point of it, but I guess we all want to look good, right? So like, I know people do their makeup in different order. Like some people do their foundation first, then their brows, or their brows first, then their eye makeup. Like, this has been my routine since I started, and I really feel like anything else is voodoo. I do not know how to do it any other way. I don't know how you can do your eye makeup and then your brows. Like, how do you do that? I can't. So for today's concealer, we're gonna be using Tarte Shape Tape, and the shade that I use is the light to medium. I feel like it's a perfect shade. It's not too white where it washes me out, but it's still really good. It's still a really good color to hide the imperfections underneath my eye. And like I said, I really like this concealer, and it's my favorite concealer because it's really thick It's long lasting. I do get creasing under my eyes, but it's not because of the product. I just have creases under my eyes. But once I set it with the baking powder, I usually never have issues with it. I don't feel like it looks too much or it's too drying. I think it's just the perfect consistency. So we're just gonna go ahead and apply that concealer underneath the eye and out. And I only really like to apply concealer underneath my eyes. I'll use whatever I have left over on the Beauty Blender to put on my forehead and somewhat on my nose, but mostly I like to focus the concealer underneath here. And just using the pointy end of the Beauty Blender, you're just gonna start working the product into your skin. So we're bringing this concealer in and out to the hairline over here. And when I'm getting to this side of my face, I kind of flip the Beauty Blender to be pointing kind of towards my hairline, because I use like the bigger side of it to kind of diffuse the look of the concealer on this side. But when I come to this side, I use the smaller side and I do the same here. And with this concealer, less is more. I feel like I said, it has really good coverage, so you don't have to really apply that much of it. But I mean, to each their own. It's kind of like up to how much you want to use, but I don't really like to use much concealer. For baking, I'm going to be using the RCMA No Color Powder, and I'm just going to go ahead and put some of this onto my table. Now, using a smaller makeup applicating sponge, I'm just going to use the edge of it, and I'm going to apply that product underneath my eye. But first, I'm going to pat out any of the creasing that I get from the creases underneath my eyes. So I'm just gonna pat this color directly right underneath my eye and out. I don't really like to add product to my actual forehead. I just use whatever's left on the little sponge. And this is just one of the little Real Technique sponges. You can buy these at any of your local drugstores. They're actually really good. So while we're letting the baking powder do its thing, we're gonna go ahead and work on the under eye. So we're gonna start using the same colors that we used on the top of the eye for the under eye. We're gonna go in with the color Love Letter, and I'm just using the Morphe Y20 brush, and I'm just gonna start kind of putting that into my lower lash line by just simply patting it in. It makes such a difference when you have an under eye color. I feel like the look is not complete without it. I had already done it to this eye, but let's go ahead. And then now I'm gonna go in with Venetian Red. I think if you're one of those people that doesn't really like spending money on a little bit of pricier products, I think the Modern Renaissance palette is a palette that everyone needs to have. So if you're gonna splurge, or if you consider that splurging, you just wanna buy one palette that you know you're gonna love and adore and use all the time, is definitely this palette. I would buy it again. Once I hit pan, I'm gonna buy it again. Like, it's by far my favorite palette out of every palette that I have, and I have a lot of palettes. So to finish off the under eye, we're gonna go in with that last color, Red Ochre, and just kind of pat that in as well. So for today's lashes, we're gonna be using the Kiss lashes in the style Gala. And I'm actually gonna apply, I'm not gonna do a wing because I don't want to overdo the whole eye look or take away from any of the blending and smokiness we got going on. So what I'm gonna do is just apply the NYX Matte Liquid Liner to the lash line. I will do a video showing you guys how I do achieve my wing eyeliner, because that is something that I do take pride in. It took me so long to find out how to figure how to do, but honestly, I can tell you guys it's all just practice and just having patience, because you're gonna get frustrated. It's gonna get in your eye, it's gonna make you cry, and you're gonna make one eye bigger than the other, and it's just part of the thing. So you just gotta have to be patient, and I swear everyone can get it eventually. So like I said, we're just gonna apply this eyeliner on the lash line just so we can hide the band of the fake lash that we're gonna be using, because these lashes do have a thicker band and you can wear them without liquid eyeliner, but I feel like the liquid liner helps the band not show as much, so they look a little bit more natural. Also, before I apply my fake lashes, I'm going to be using the Voluminous Mascara. Like I said before, this is my favorite mascara. And the only reason I do use mascara before applying my fake eyelashes is because also I feel like it helps it blend better, and it also helps the lash look more full, looks a little bit more natural. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put my eyelashes on off camera, so I'll be right back. So now we're going to go ahead and dust off the baking powder. So I'm just going to be using the Morphe Y3 brush. You can use any brush to do this, but we're just going to, like I said, pat and dust. I used to use the Airspun powder for baking, but that one I felt like it did have flashback, and also I didn't really like the odor of it. This RCMA powder doesn't have any kind of smell to it, and I feel like it works better than the Airspun. But who knows, maybe I just have to give it another try, but for now I'm going to stick to that. So for today's contouring, we're going to be using the Kat Von D Shade to Light palette, which I know you already guessed because I told you guys it was my favorite. And honestly, this is the only palette that I use for contouring. Is probably going to be the only palette that I ever use for contouring. I might have to try something different, and I might have to even do a video trying out the cream contouring because I see how beautiful it looks. However, I just don't feel like I can do it. So maybe I'll try it on camera with you guys so you guys can see if I fail or I succeed and we can learn together. But for now, we're going to be using this one, and I'm going to be using these two shades over here. So I'm going to use the M527 brush and just pick up both shades. I'm tapping the brush to drop any excess product, and I'm just going to work this into my cheekbone. And for that, I'm going to do the fish face so that I can see where my cheekbone indentation should be. I wonder what we're gonna make to eat this year, because I'm from El Salvador and we usually have panes con pollo, so that's what I'm hoping for. But you know, every year is different, so we'll see what everyone cooks up this year. I'm actually really excited for the food. That is my favorite part. So now that we got the contouring done, we're gonna go back in with the angled little spongy and the RCMA powder, and we're just going to kind of cut where our cheekbone should, the indentation of our cheekbone should be, and out that just a little bit, and then the other side as well. And we're just gonna kind of let that bake. For today's highlighter, I'm gonna be using the Anastasia Glow Kit. This is the Sun Dipped Glow Kit, and it has these 4 shades. I feel like this palette works good also on every skin tone. When I do go out to do makeup for events, I actually bring this one with me all the time, simply because it has a lot of different shades that work with any skin tone, so it's not really designated for just one type of skin tone. And I'm just going to be using the Morphe Y13 fan brush. And I actually like to mix the shades because it creates like such a pretty shade. I don't know, but you can use just one. I like to mix all of them, so I just like to kind of just pat into all of them. And I'm just gonna put that right here onto the cheekbone. I'm the type of person that literally overdoes it with the highlighter, so I like to apply it until it's like, bam! And I don't really have a particular order on where I dip. I'm just kind of like. Ooh, do you guys see that? I love this highlighting palette. It's awesome. And you also want to get the tip of your nose and the Cupid's bow. Girl, yes. All right, so now that we've applied the highlighter, we can go ahead and dust off the baking underneath. So for today's lip, we're going to be using the Milani lip cream in the shade Sugar. This is a deep burgundy shade, so I feel like it's going to tie in the whole look together. If you're one of those people that doesn't like to go for too much of darkness, you can even add a nude lip to this, a clear gloss, anything that you feel is comfortable, but I'm the type of person that likes to just like make a statement with my makeup, so I'm just going to go in with this dark color. I feel like this lip tied in the look together completely. I'm loving how this came out. I hope you guys really like it too, and that you guys try it. If you guys do try this look, please tag me in pictures. It will make me so happy to see that you guys are actually trying these makeup tutorials that I'm making for you guys, because I know like a lot of you guys are barely experimenting with makeup. I feel like I do things in a simple way, because like I said before, I'm also a beginner. I don't really think of myself as I'm better than everyone else. I'm learning new techniques and new makeup looks all the time, so I love that I can show you guys how to achieve them. If you guys have any questions that I don't answer in these videos, you guys are also able to send me any comments on the YouTube video. You guys can reach out to me on social media and I'll gladly answer any questions that you guys have about any of the products, anything that I didn't explain very well, or if you guys want me to try a look, send me pictures. I can try it. If it works out for me, I can film it for you guys. That'll be pretty exciting. So we can do that. And finally, to finish off the look, I'm gonna be using the NYX Dewy Finish Setting Spray. I'm trying to make a cute face while I'm spraying myself. I know I probably look like, I'm like, annoying ass. Kind of did my hair before the video because I didn't want to look all ratchet, because you guys should see me like when I'm going to work or like on my days off. I do not look like this at all, but that's the beauty of makeup, right? You don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I love your guys' comments on my videos, so please leave me a comment down below.